chaired by Director General Professor Yuan, and here Professor Director General of National Astronomical Observatories in China, the Deputy Director General Professor Zhao, and Professor and actually here for international cooperation. So they are visiting us for a few days in order to see the developments of the SON program here, where they participate, and also to agree with the first answers and also to see the first So let me tell you how it is organized. We will have two talks. The first is presented by Dr. Zhao, who is a professor at the National Astronomical Observatory in China, and he is the deputy director general of the observatory. He will introduce several and he's also a member, the president of the Astronomical Society of China. He is a member of the board of the TNT. He has many activities. And scientifically, he is an expert on stellar chemical composition and synthesis, chemical analysis in general. And I had a very pleasant discussion with him because I think both did the thesis on very similar topics on studying the stars of the halo galaxy. So we have many points in common. I will introduce later the second speaker. So at the moment I offer you the floor. So we will have Professor.
Okay, thank you for the invitation. Okay, now, okay. Thank you for the invitation by Professor Roberto, and also the introduce our delegation. And it's my great pleasure on behalf of delegation to give a brief introduction about National Astronomical Observatory, the Chinese Academy of Science. So my talk will focus on the Chinese observatory system, and also the current ongoing major project engaged by NAOC, and also the last I will look into the future, and for some of the science highlights will be briefly given by my colleague Professor Jifeng Liu. So now this first part is the Chinese Academy of Science observatory system, and currently in China, the astronomical research is mainly conducted by the Chinese Academy of Science, and this dominate the part, and it's about 90% of manpower, and also the budget is belong to the observatories, and in the university only about 10% of the personnel and also resource. And the National Astronomical Observatory of China was officially founded in 2001, and through the merge of several astronomical observatory of Chinese Academy of Science. Here now there are 3 observatories. This NAOC and the Purple Mountain Observatory located in south of China, and also Shanghai Observatory directly linked to the Chinese Academy of Science. But the NAOC is dominator for the research for especially for the larger facility in China. And we also have some subordinate institute like Yunnan Observatory, the Nanjing Institute of Astronomical Optical and Technology, Xinjiang Observatory, and the Changchun Observatory, spread all over China. And the headquarters of the NAOC is in Beijing. And here I give the map of the whole the China, and you can see all the files subordinate is the location in China, and also we have around 30 stations with observation facilities, and including one in Argentina and Antarctic, Dome A, and even we have one telescope in the moon. I will talk later. And now I mainly concentrate for the headquarters in Beijing. And this headquarters of NAOC has the 7 research divisions. So it's across optical, radio, applied and galaxy and cosmology, solar physics, space science, and lunar and deep space exploration. And based on the observatory, I only list here the 6, the big one, but we also have some small station. It's spread over all China. And here I give the brief introduction about staff and student. And as of 2015, the total of person in NAOC is more than 1,100, and staff is 800, including the more than 648 research plus engineers, and 71 administrative staff, and 85 support staff. And also we have student is about 280. So postdoc, but we start off postdoc is recently we only have 42 staff. So this is the ratio of the personnel and also staff ratio. And annually the NAOC, it's a headquarters that has published near 400 publications on referred journal. So this the increase of the number of publications on the ICI is with the years. And also NAOC published the professional journal, we call the Research in Astronomy and Astrophysics. This journal is also the category by SCI. Now with the impact factor of 1.5, we still have space to growing up. And I only give one slide for the Xinlong Observatory, because this is optical and infrared, the observatory in the largest one in East Asia, and including the 4-meter, the Smith telescope Lamost, and 2-meter optical, and 1.26 meter infrared, and also some Smith 1 meter some small telescope working on this observatory. This is only 170 kilometers north of Beijing. But the condition recent year is is getting worse because the population growing up around this area. So now I move to the second part about the current ongoing major project. there are two parts. One is the ground-based facility. Is one is the LAMOS. It's a larger area multi-optic fiber, the spectroscopic telescope, and also 500 meter the radio telescope, and also the solar telescope. And we also have the SOON project, and for the first searching for first light by the 21 centimeter array. And then I will introduce the space mission and activity with mainly is lunar project and swarm. And finally is the joint international project. Now we are engaged the TMT, SK, and the East Asia Observatory, and the South Africa Joint Research Center, and also the 40-meter radio telescope in Argentina. So the first is we say the LAMOS is a larger sky area, multi-object, the fiber spectroscopic telescope, and this was built from 2001 and get ready in 2009. Then we have some of the commissioning stage for 2 years. Then we have 1 year pilot survey. And since the 2012, we start a regular survey with this telescope. And here I show the footprint of the observation, the cover for the whole the sky with this the plate, and this part is mainly the summer season, which we will stop the observation, and the rest part is already mostly covered by this survey. And we can see this the compare with the other survey project. Our LAMOS survey is already get near 5 million stellar spectra, and right now we already have more than 6 million spectra. But this is by last year. And here the list of the different spectral type of star was with the number observed. And also the scientific result by using the LAMOS the spectral data is increased from the 2010, and now it's reached about 50 the publication per year. So here I list some high size highlights by using the LAMOS survey data research to get. And any of you, if interesting, we can discuss more detail in the later on. And the second, the larger project, the NAOC engaged is a 500 meter aperture spherical telescope. It's also the second mega science project funded by the National Development and Reform Commission for Astronomy. The LAMOS is the first one. And this telescope with 3 outstanding aspects, with a unique cast depression as the site, and active the main reflector, and also the cable very special design. And first, the science, the target is mainly for the natural hydrogen line, the survey and the process searching, and the molecular line, and also joint VRBI network, and also, of course, for the site is very good for the public interesting. And here is this near ready this telescope. We will have the ceremony for this telescope by end of this month. Then we will start the commission of this telescope. So if you're interested, maybe next time visit China, you can. This in south of China, they use the Castor Valley. And this project start from 2011, and so this our ceremony days, September 2025. So this is a very broad notice by astronomical community in the worldwide, and especially by BBC and also some science magazine report the big eye on the sky. It will be open soon. And we also have the Chinese spectral radio, the holograph, open the new window for the solar affairs and the CME. And there are two arrays. One is we have the high frequency, and one is low frequency. Is the low frequency with each one is 4.5 meter, the diameter and total 40 degrees. And for the high frequency, we have 60 with a 2 meter diameter. It's in the north of China. And this is the 21 centimeter array, which was built in the deeper west of China. The total about 10,000. The 10,000 the antenna with a 4 kilometer by 6 kilometer this area, and the frequency coverage is from 70 to 200 megahertz, and looking the redshift 21 centimeter line from the Z from the 6 to the 20, and now it's still working on. And the difficulty is how make the subtraction of the background of this signal. And we also have the SOON project. I think this is the one of the network same as the Spanish joint one, and it's a 4 station, and one is in China, in the south, in the west of China. This was built by NAOC, and I think that last year they already make some start observation and get some preliminary science result. And besides of this SOON, we also have the 50 centimeter the telescope. This will be the supplement as the SOON project, and this is with the same team to engage this project. And here this May of last year, the SOON team in China, Chinese team, and this and also their collaborator from Denmark attending this celebrate first light. And so now I move to the space science mission activity. Is we have the lunar exploration program. We call the Chang'e is the name of the Chinese legend, the fairs. And they already have the 5 missions from 1 to 5. And we also send the lunar-based, the ultraviolet telescope. It's very small. It's only the 15 centimeter. And then approve the Chinese chemical science leading the space program for the monitoring variable source. And this is the Chinese lunar exploration program. And for the whole project, the NAOC is independent, responsible for the scientific research center, and to get all this the data, research data. And here shows some the first microwave imaging of this complete the moon. And also there are some the scientific result related this mission. And this is so this is the ultraviolet the telescope we call the lunar the ultraviolet telescope. And this mount on this the station which the on the moon. And now is still this first imaging of this one, from this telescope and this light curve. So this spherical, the galaxy I-101 is visible, and this is from this telescope. And they have some new result from this telescope about the water on the moon. And also there are space the multi-band variable object monitor, and this is the Chinese, the French, the mission for also for the mainly for the gamma ray burst, and this is scientific requirement, and also the proposed science instrumentation by the French and the Chinese the scientists. And here the figure out layout of this this instrumentation on board. And the last part I'm go to the looking into the future. First is 12-meter telescope and site testing in Western China. And also the global collaboration is with Chile and TMT and SK collaborate, and the East Asia Observatory Association and the East Asia Observatory, and also Antarctic Observatory. And the final, I give a sort of introduce about our type project. And this is the 12-meter telescope project. And this project was approved by the government the last month, and with about 200 million euros. And this is the main scientific goal. And this is also the preliminary design, and this is still the subject of the change in a few months. And we hope we can start construction within two years. And this telescope have some very special design for the preliminary the Fox and Coude and also the Nasmith the Fox. And I think main scientific goals similar the most of larger telescope, so I don't mention here more. And this activities of site survey in China, in order to have to put our larger optical infrared telescope, we are monitoring some site in west of China, and now we probably have the one potential site in the border of with the India. It's not too far from Hanla. We call the Ali. This here the list some of the parameter is and compare with the monarchy and also Amazon the data, and this looks the comparable, but of course not the so many good nights compared with the other two sites, and also the scene is not as good as as the La Palma. And here we already have some construction on this the Ali Observatory, some small telescope, and mainly for the also for the testing of the site. And probably we will put this telescope further of the high place. This is already more than 5,000 meter above sea. And in 2013, the Chinese Academy of Science also founded the South Africa Center for Astronomy, which collaborates with mainly Chile, dominated by our observatory, NAOC. And we already get the building, which was lent by the Department of Astronomy, the University of Chile. And here the major the mission of this the research center. And here we have some of the signed agreement with the Chile part, which was witnessed by the president of Chile president and also the Chinese Premier Minister. I think 20 years ago, we also have one small telescope located in Chile's University of San Juan. And now we are going to put another 40-meter Chinese Argentina radio telescope, which is supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology of China. And now the telescope is ready, but we still need an official procedure to get approved by the Argentina government to let us to install this telescope. And also we are now joined the TMT with the 10% contribution as the partner, and also we joined the SKA funding board, and this also the 10% is 10% is to join the SKA, and this TMT the config, and here we show this the 10% by the NAOC, our the institute. So probably now most of us know there are problem. The location in Hawaii probably will move to the La Palma. Okay, we will finish within 2 minutes. And this SKA project. And we also signed agreement with another 3 observatories, the NAOC and CASI, and also the ASIS from Taiwan. And we call the East Asia Co-Observatory Association. And the main purpose to enhance the collaboration among the regional, the local regional in East Asia. So and also we have the Eco Fellowship, and also we create the Asia Observatory. Now we use the JCMT as the first telescope run by this the East Asia Observatory. And here is the location of this JCMT. And we also have the project supported by government to build the Antarctic Observatory in Dome A of and we will have the 2.5 meter optical telescope, and later on the 4 to 8 meter telescope, and for the sub-millimeter we will have 5 meter telescope, terahertz telescope. And the last is telescope access program, because the Chinese astronomy is still very young and is rising up only recent years. So we sort of the middle size of telescope, and so we need to get more observation time. And for this, the NAOC to get the budget to buy some the telescope time. And so this is the list. This telescope now this is available for the Chinese astronomers, and I hope in the future we can have a chance to collaborate with our Spanish astronomers, especially from the IAC, for the join the GTC as the partner to work together to develop astronomical research. So this the last slide of the roadmap toward 2020 by the Chinese ground-based and space-based astronomical facility. So at least here is someone is just launched, like dark matter exploration, and this hard X-ray moderate is this year, and also swarm next year, and some is on the proposal phase. So this all. Thank you.